Hi, in this video we're going to show you how to create a prediction model in Graphext. Basically, in this case, what we have here is a dataset of second-hand cars, and we want to use Graphext to find opportunities in this dataset. How we can do that? Basically, we have a variable that is a price, and we want to use Graphext to predict the price and find if there are some cars that has a price that is below of the price that Graphext is telling us that it should be, basically. So as you can see here on the right, we have different analyses that we can run. Graphext, for example, is recommending us this area of text because we should have here some text variable like this one, and Graphext is telling us that we could do a text analysis here. But we are going to focus in this area, in models area. Basically here we have different kind of analysis, and the main one is for prediction model is this one, the train and predict. For giving you context, what we are going to do here, this kind of analysis is it is called supervised learning. Why? What we're doing is telling Graphext that we have different variables and we want to achieve a specific result, or at least predict a specific result that is the price. So Graphext is going to learn from all the variables that we're giving it, and trying to predict this target that we have. Okay, that is the price. In this case, this would be a supervised learning, but also a regression model. Okay, because we are going to predict a numerical, a quantitative variable. In the case that we want to predict a category, for example, imagine that instead of predicting the price, we want to predict, I don't know, the brand or the kind of car that it is, depending on the different characteristics of the car. It would be a classification. Okay, so if we have categories, it's classification. If we have quantitative or numbers, it is a regression. And all of them include in the supervised learning. And unsupervised learning would be, for example, clustering. Okay, in a clustering, what we're doing is, okay, I have different data from, for example, I don't know, my customers. I have when they buy or the characteristic demographics or whatever, and I want to find patterns. So I'm going to pass all the information to Graphext, and Graphext is going to find me those patterns. But Graphext doesn't have a target to predict. It is going to find the patterns inside my data. So, well, basically, we're going to go here in try and predict, and this is the interface. This is interesting because the same interface is going to be used in clustering. So, if you understand this, you can run also the clustering analysis. But well, what we have here, we can go from top to bottom. So here in data enrichment, you will find different options that we have for enriching your data. For example, we can extract the data components, or imagine that you have, I don't know, coordinates of your customers or from these cars, and you want to add the demographic info to your data to enrich it and have more data to analyze and a better data for learning and predicting. So you could add this. Well, we have different options that we are going to cover in another video. So if you want to check them, you can go to that video. About aggregation, this is also another option that we offer you here. For understanding aggregations, we could think about pivot tables in Excel, for example, in which we want to aggregate by any variable. So you could select here the variable, and imagine that we want to aggregate by company. So as we have different companies, well, the same company could be in different rows, and we'll have different cars and different prices. Imagine that we want to aggregate to know the mean of the price of each brand, for example. So we will aggregate by company, and here what we would do is say, okay, we aggregate by company, and the variable price, we want to have the mean. And in other variable, we can do other things. For example, I don't know, the year or the power. We want to find the maximum power, the minimum power that they have. Okay, so you are going to come here and select the different aggregations that you want to run. This is not mandatory, so this is only in case that you want to run analysis with an aggregation first. So if not, as it is closed, you don't need to open it, and you can focus only on this one. Okay, this is the only part that you need to fulfill. The rest is optional. So yeah, once you're here, we have three different areas. Other variables that are all the columns that we have in our data set. The factors, that is the variables that we want to pass to Graphext for the learning process, okay? And the target, that is the variable that we want to predict. So in this example, the target would be the price, and the factors are all those variables that we want to use for predicting the price. So the company could be interesting, the make is maybe yes, the model yes, maybe the fuel could be interesting, the kilometers that it has, okay? And we can select all the ones that we want, and we will put them here. Also, as you can see, you can select all of them, but in this case, maybe there are some of them that are not that interesting. For example, the URL, maybe it's not really related with the price, so we're going to leave it here. So Graphext is going to use these variables for predicting, for learning and predicting the price. What happened to these variables? They disappear? No. We're going to have all these variables in our exploration area in the project. Okay, so you will be able of visualizing these variables and filter by them. But the algorithm is not going to use all of these variables for predicting the price, only the ones that we are going to put here in factors. After that, you could run directly your project, but you have other options here that are for more advanced users. For example, if you are more technical and you know how you have run in some algorithms on your own or wherever, you maybe want to configure other parameters here. So you can open them. For example, here you can decide which model you want to use, or here you have different parameters from that model. In the validation process, you will have also, if we want to do a cross-validation or holdout. And for example, in network and clusters, you could see which algorithm we are going to use for the dimensionality reduction or for the clustering. And also if you want to represent your data as a graph or maybe as a map or a tree map, this is something that you can decide, but as I was telling you, it is not mandatory. So if you fill this part, you're able to run the project. So that's what we're going to do. We have completed this, so we're going to click next. And here you are going to put the name for your project. So we'll call it train and predict second hand. Okay. So it's ready. So we'll click execute. And here what you're going to find is different steps that Graphext is running. Okay, and once they're finished, you are going to click here in open, because this is going to change, and you can explore your project. So also, if you want to, in the meantime, create another project or review other things, you can go to other areas. Here, for example, you're going to see your project, and you can check all the projects that we have here. So, well, I think that this is interesting for you and useful, and that you can enjoy your projects. Within it up here in this icon, you will find a chat for asking us any question that you have, and also some documentation. So, well, thank you for seeing this, and we can see you in other videos. So, see you soon.